and he'll be here talking to you guys about what it's like being a government attorney. So,
Yeah.
Chris, take it away.
Hi, good morning, everyone. As Austin just said, my name is Chris. Last name is Gray. You can call me Chris. Call me Mr. Gray. It's up to you. It's, what as Austin just said is I'm an attorney. I work for the Attorney General. His name is Doug Moylan or Douglas Moylan. Does everybody know Mr. Moylan, the Attorney General? Wonderful. Now, as far as what it means to be an attorney, does anybody have any relatives here or anybody that has got an attorney in their family? Do you have any brothers, sister, uncles, aunts, maybe your grandfather, anybody? A lawyer? Yeah. Yeah.
Some people don't know what attorney means.
No, okay, actually, let's go back then. Anybody know what attorney means? No? Obviously. Okay, so does anyone know what a lawyer means? Attorney. Let me ask this. How many people here have seen movies or shows where they have a courtroom scene?
Suits.
Okay, Suits, wonderful. Okay, Suits, Mike and Harvey
Yep.
are lawyers. They are lawyers. And basically our main job as lawyers and attorney is we represent, at least in our office, the Attorney General, we represent the people, which is you guys and all your communities in court. That is our interest. So our job is to protect you guys from bad guys. It's about as plain and simple as that, okay? And just going to give you a little journey what it takes to be an attorney. You first need to have a college degree. Anybody know? Raise your hand. How many years does it take to get a college degree?
4.
Wonderful. Now, after that, you have to go get what they call a Juris Doctorate, all right? It's basically a law degree. It's like a PhD. Ever heard of the term PhD? Right? Okay, so you basically take 3 years to go through law school is what we call it, and you basically get a JD after that. After that, you take this test. It's called the Uniform Bar Exam or a bar exam. It takes about 2 days to take this test. It's an all-day first day and kind of an all-day second day exam. And then based on your score, you get to be a lawyer. You get basically a certification in a state that you're choosing to want to practice at, and you get to be an attorney. My job in particular is I'm a prosecutor. I work for the General Crimes Division. So if you're wondering what a prosecutor is, so in Suits, Harvey's first job, he was what they call a U.S. District Attorney or a prosecutor. My main job is to basically put bad guys away. If you guys, most places that you watch and read and kind of see in movies and TV shows, what you see is there's Law and Order. Anybody here saw Law and Order? Anybody? No?
There.
Okay, so there's the cops that arrest the guys when bad guys do bad things, right? There's a criminal process, or they go to court after. My job is to make sure the bad guy stays in jail because of what they did. It's my job. My job is to make sure the people of Guam and the community and your families are safe by making sure the bad guy stays in jail. All right? So that's my role as an attorney, that kind of what it takes to be an attorney in that end. Now, I know for a fact that you guys have seen some of the posters out here. This is our biggest campaign as an attorney, is to make sure meth stays off the streets in Guam, okay? And Austin's gonna talk to you guys a little bit about meth, so that way you guys know exactly what that is, all right? So everybody just give Mr. Austin kind of your attention right now.
All right, thank you guys. Again, my name is Austin. I work as a paralegal in the AG's office, and I'm here to talk to you guys about one of our biggest campaigns and the whole reason why we're reaching out to you guys, right, the younger folks. How old are you guys? 6th graders? 13? 12? 12. 12, 11? Okay, right? You're not in high school yet. You're just out of elementary school. But the topics we're going to talk about is all very relevant. But before we jump in, I have a question for you guys. What do you think is the most dangerous drug out there? All right. Fentanyl, that's one of them. Anybody have another drug in mind that they think is the most dangerous? How about you? Marijuana, it's legal, but it is a drug. Anybody have another? Okay. Cocaine is another drug. I'm going to tell you, it might be in front of you. Okay, what's up? Ice or? Meth, right? It's crystal meth. It goes by many names, but yeah, meth is currently one of the worst drugs we see in Guam today is methamphetamine, or meth for short. Some call it crystal meth, some call it ice. You see it everywhere in the news, right? And it's destroying a lot of lives in our community. So today I'm going to talk to you guys about what meth is, why it's so dangerous. Anybody seen meth? I hope not. No? Okay, let's keep it that way, right? We're We're going to talk about the consequences of meth, how drug dealers, or we call them death dealers really, prey on you guys, the young people, and why it's important to be able to say no and really protect your future. You guys are having your career day today. You're all being exposed to the different jobs you could have in the future, right? You could be an attorney like Chris, or work at Bank of Guam, or KUAM, but all of that will not be possible if you fall prey to the drug that we see out there that is meth. And so really this is one of the most important conversations we can have, because one bad choice, right? One bad choice can change your life forever. So let's start with the basics. Let's start with an easy question. What do you think meth looks like? Okay, let me see other people want to take a shot at. What do you think what form does meth come in? What do you think? Powder, okay, that's one of them. As you can see over there, it comes in that form, and then the other form would be crystals, right there. Yeah, meth comes in two forms. It comes in white powder or tiny crystals. It looks like, you see it looks like crushed up glass or salt or sugar. You love salt, right? And salt is good for your food, but meth is not. And so it's very important that when you see something like that, right, you think twice. You know, if you see something lying on the floor, don't immediately assume it's salt. It's salt. It could be something else that's very dangerous. Do you know how meth works? How does a drug like meth work? No. Meth is a stimulant. Ever heard that word before in your science classes? No. Probably not yet. Meth is a stimulant. It speeds up your body and your brain, but it's in the worst way possible. It's not in a way that is good for you. It tricks your brain into thinking that you're all this powerful or confident or happy person, but really, it causes damage to your body. And the damage that it causes is very permanent, right? And permanent means what? Forever, right? The damage that it causes is forever. And what do you think happens to your body if you use meth? All right, what do you think? You go crazy, right? Your brain goes haywire, right? Internally. Anybody else have a guess? What other things do you think happens when you use meth? All right, what about you? You break your teeth. Where do you see that? Over here, right? We call that meth teeth. Those are some good guesses, right? It destroys your brain, makes you paranoid. You know, anybody want to know what paranoid means? What does paranoid mean? When you're thinking like the cops are outside, but really no one's out there, you're paranoid. Yeah, scared in a way, frantic, but the threat isn't really existent, right? You become paranoid, you become violent, right? You start hurting people around you, and you're not able to think clearly. Perhaps most notorious would be the rotten teeth. We call it meth teeth. They break, they fall off. For the girls in the room, do you guys want to have that? No. When you smile at the guy across the room, there's nothing there. Ugh, right? Yeah, meth causes that. It also causes you to age rapidly, right? You start to have sores on your face, as you can see with that. So you could be 25, but on meth, you look like 60 or 80, right? Who would want that? And among other things, right, very important is violence. A lot of the people that are using these types of drugs engage in violence. And when you get addicted to meth, the first time you try it, your brain will have that instinctive crave to have more, and it sends you in a hole, right? That where you could never get out. And Chris could probably attest to this. At the Attorney General's office, right, we're in charge of putting what kind of guys away? Good guys or bad guys? Bad guys. We're in charge of putting bad guys away. We see that meth does to people every single day. People who had happy lives, they're gone. Their families are destroyed. Importantly, their careers, professional careers, are ended because of drugs like meth. And it all starts with one bad decision, right? And let's think about this. What do you think happens to someone when you get addicted to meth? Do you think they still stay in school? No. Probably not, right? They drop out of school because the meth takes over. You think their families still want them in their homes? No. Probably not either, right? Because again, as I mentioned, it causes them to commit violence. They start to hurt people around them, their family, and their friends. And worse, what do you think is the worst thing to happen to you if you are caught using drugs like meth? Arrested, and what? You get prosecuted by people like Chris, and then you go to court, yes, and then after court, you go to prison, right? Yes, you got a question? Not life, but definitely a long sentence. So again, something to think about, right? And so yeah, those are some of the consequences that come. And really, no one ever says, I want to be a drug addict when I grow up. Anybody? No, right? No one says that. But it happens because they don't realize how dangerous it is and until it's too late. And that's why we are here talking to you guys. So you guys are informed before it's too late. And now, I think this is the most important part. Let's talk about the people that are pushing this poison onto you guys, right? What do you call a person who sells drugs? Drug dealer. We're all familiar with the term. But really, they're not drug dealers, they're death dealers. They're selling you this drug that will really send you on a very dark path. And what do you think drug dealers care about? What is the only thing they care about? Only care about money. But the thing about drugs is that when they sell it to you, are they helping their customer or doing something bad to them? Doing something bad. Why? What happens when you're constantly taking this drug? You're hurting the system, and then eventually you die, right? You die from the drug. So to a drug dealer, does that mean they gain a customer or they lose a customer? They lose a customer. And that means no money comes in. So who do they start looking at to make more customers? You guys. They are going to start looking at you guys. And you know what they're going to do? They're going to come up to you. They're going to say, try this. You're going to like it. They're going to give you free samples. You don't even have to pay for it. But again, we already know what the consequences is for the girls. If you try it, right? You don't want to look like that. Yeah, so it's very important to know that these dealers, they're out there to trick you. And it's very important to know that when you see it, you walk away from it, you say no. If someone is trying to get you to use meth, they are not your friend. They are trying to destroy your future, your chance at becoming some of the careers that you see out there. And so if you ever find yourself in a situation where someone is, trying to offer you meth, what do you say? No. You say no. What else do you do? Run away. Yeah, and, they're probably dangerous. What else? You tell a trusted adult. Tell mom, tell dad. Who in school can you tell if someone tells you? Tell a teacher, your teacher, school aides, a principal, right? And so it's very important that you tell someone because, they're doing something bad to you guys. And of course, people like us from the Attorney General's office, we hear about it. We make sure that the adult that is doing that is, of course, prosecuted and for doing something very bad. And that is selling drugs to young people. And so another very important tip besides saying no is that you should surround yourself with good friends. If you have a friend that is engaging in these type of things, are they really a good friend? No. Probably not, right? So the friends that you surround yourself with now in middle school and eventually in high school, they're going to influence the decisions that you make. If your friends are pressuring you into trying drugs, they're not real friends, right? That's not a good thing. Always surround yourself with people who will push you towards being successful, right? If you want to become an attorney, surround yourselves with people who will support you in doing that. If they're asking you to try drugs, they're not your real friends, and they are not supporting you in succeeding in life. And you guys all have very bright futures ahead of you. You guys are sixth graders. Eventually, most of you are going to go to Teason High School, I assume, right?
No, GW.
You're going to go GW. Well, yeah. It's all the high schools nearby, right? But you're going to be in high school, and eventually, right, you're going to go to college. You're going to become doctors, teachers, lawyers like Chris, even entrepreneurs. But none of those things will be possible if you happen to use drugs like meth, which will really, right, send you down a path. So join me on this, all right? Make sure that you are what? Being smart, don't starve, right? Be smart, right? Make this wise decision, right? It's always that first choice. It's that first taste. Never do it. Be smart, don't start. And remember, right, the strongest people are the ones who stand up for themselves. Don't give in to the pressure. Just keep your path. You're doing great. Hopefully everyone is doing their homeworks, getting good grades. Everyone getting good grades? Yeah? All right. Hopefully everyone's getting good grades. Just stay where you're at. Again, if people start showing up, start selling you drugs like meth, always say no and always tell a trusted adult. But that's all I had to say about this topic. I want to, get into your curiosities of the topic of being an attorney. So if you guys have any questions for Chris, anyone already interested in becoming a lawyer? Any questions? Okay.
I want to be an engineer.
You want to be an
You
engineer?
can be both.
You could be both.
Yeah. Because so being a lawyer doesn't mean you're just constantly just dealing with, you know, prosecution, anything that you can think of as far as building roads, working in a bank. Being a lawyer covers all of those things. And remember earlier I asked you guys what, if anything you were interested so far in Career Day. So Austin brought up a very good point. I want you guys to really understand that any job, anything that you're trying to become in the future, they do drug tests. Do you guys know what a drug test is?
Yes.
So if you come back with positive for meth, you're not going to have the job. So that's the whole point of this. Be smart, don't start. Because if you never start, you never have to worry about a drug test, right? So does anyone have questions for Austin and I, actually, as far as with meth or as far as what our office does when it comes to protecting you and your families?
Okay.
No?
Go. Yeah, have we seen any drug dealers in the street?
Have I ever seen any drug dealers? I
Chris probably
personally
has.
do not go out in the streets. That's what the
Yeah.
officers do.
Yeah.
However, I have seen drug dealers in court.
Yeah.
And just to kind of give you guys an idea, you're asking a little bit of question about life, right? If you guys get caught. If you are intending to sell drugs, we will charge you at the bare minimum something called possession of a controlled substance with intent to deliver. That is a sentence, if you are charged for it, between 10 to 20 years, could be more depending on what you're doing. It's like, do you want to spend, like how long, you guys are what, 11, 12 years old?
Yeah.
I mean, think about half of your life right now would have been spent just sitting in a jail. That doesn't sound fun at all, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I know you had a question earlier. What was your question?
Do you know who's El Chapo?
Do you know El Chapo? I think everybody knows El Chapo. If you watch Netflix and Narcos, I understand. He is serving jail for the rest of his life, and
He's still alive?
El Chapo Guzman he's in jail right now, serving in a federal penitentiary the rest of his life. So he's a kid. You guys know that? It's a family business. Don't get involved. So yes, ma'am.
When you see the meth people, do you ever feel bad?
Do I ever feel bad? Okay. The best way to answer this is something I learned quickly in my first few years in being an attorney. So there are two kinds of bad guys out there. There's people we're mad at and people we're scared of, right? So what I mean by this is the people that commit crime, some of them, they commit crime that we're mad at. We're mad at them because they're doing really dumb things and we want them to stop. Okay, so some meth users, meth people are those, but they need help and we have to figure out what kind of help we provide them. Then there's other people that we're scared of. People we're scared of, they need to not be in our society, needs to be in jail. Those are the guys that I was telling you about that can be 10 to 20 years or more because their goal, as Austin has said, is not to help you. Their goal is to, money. That's what they said is death dealers because they don't care what happens to you. If you die, they move on and find another customer. They call it customer service. Think about that, right? Do they feel bad or remorse for what they've done? So hopefully that answers that, right? Because they both fall. Anyone else? Yes, ma'am. Sorry, and I'll go back to you, sis.
Do minors get arrested if they are caught selling it?
Oh, yes. There is here it is part. The question was, do minors, which is what you guys are, under the age of 18, will they get arrested if they get caught? They get caught, you guys will get arrested for having it or having it and selling it. And if you're having it and selling it, it's a lot, like I said, worse punishment. So yes. So don't even be near it. Don't even start. Yes, you had a question.
I have a question, but it's about a different job.
Oh, go ahead. Maybe I might know. Go ahead. Don't do any drugs.
No, I won't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, man. What's going on?
That kills you, right?
Fentanyl?
Fentanyl is a very dangerous drug. Yes. So is meth. Do you understand? Meth will kill you too.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't understand how they both work.
Well, if you ever think of becoming a doctor or a pharmacist, a chemist, those are great jobs, and you will learn from that. Trust me. I don't want to get too much into details and the difference in that. That's kind of a little bit high level, you know. So yes, sir. Next question.
What is K2?
K2, I think, if I remember, I think that is a form of marijuana or something like that, or it's a horse tranquilizer. Okay, street names sometimes kind of phase me a little bit because when you're in court, we don't call it by its nickname because we want to make sure that everybody knows what it is. Anybody else? Questions? No.
No more questions.
Hey, how many athletes you guys think do meth?
There's so many. I can't.
None. You guys cannot be an athlete doing math, guys.
Can't
That's
play
a trick
sports.
question. Look at, yeah, you're taking a steroid. That's not the same. Man, I asked that question earlier. How many athletes? How many play sports? There's no way you can play.
Oh yeah, 'cause
Like-
the drugs are.
Yeah, look, that's your bones. Your bones will get brittle. You'll age. How old do you guys think I am? Be honest.
50,
30? 30? I'm actually 80 because I don't do math. All right? No, I'm not 80. I'm just kidding. You remember what Austin said? It will age you. It really does. I mean, you guys don't understand how bad this drug is. And our goal is to at least make you guys understand how bad it is. You will look like you're 40 when you're 12. So can you imagine like being that old and trying to play sports? It's not gonna happen. So, all right. Any other questions? How much time we got? Are we good on time or?
We got one more, and then we'll have questions for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did Mike Tyson take meth? Because he was 13-year-old.
No, man, he was in great shape when he fought Paul Logan, man. I mean, there's no way he was doing meth. So think about that. Yeah, no. Yeah, but he was, I mean, think about it. He's 60 something and he was out there boxing. He was definitely not doing math. So, all right, Austin's going to have a few questions for you guys.
All right. So,
Make sure you participate. It is important. You
Yeah.
want to participate. Trust me.
can anybody
Okay.
spot where Eric is? Point at him. Where is he? What do you think? Look at what he's holding over there. Little tiny Eric.
Yeah.
All right. So I have some questions from the presentation. So hopefully everyone was listening in. And if you get my questions correctly, you could get your very own little Eric with a little lunch pad, with a little goodies from our office, right? From the Attorney General's office. So I'm going to ask some questions. So all you need to do is raise your hand, stand up, say your name, and then give your answer.
Don't
okay?
shout out the answers.
Don't
You'll get
shout it out.
disqualified.
Yeah. Make
Okay.
sure, raise your hand. I will call on you. Stand up, say what your name is, and then go ahead and give your answer. So let's do this. Quick and easy. Said this at the very beginning. All right. Can anyone tell me? I haven't even. If I asked you to get up and answer, you wouldn't know. Can anyone tell me? Can anyone tell me what is the name? Oh, dude, your hands are already good. What is the name of the Attorney General of Guam? All right, your hand was up first. So go ahead
Come
and
on, stand up.
stand up, say what your name is, and then go ahead and tell us. What is the name of the Attorney General?
Is it Douglas Moylan?
Douglas Moylan is the name of our Attorney General. Let's give him a round of
Yeah.
applause. All right, there you go.
Good job. Good job. All right.
Okay, all right, you get your very own little Eric plushie. All right, great job. All right, hopefully, well, I don't think I asked this question, but I'm gonna go ahead and jump to this one. All right, Chris talked about this, right? He is a what again? A lawyer / attorney. All right, and so they have to go to school. What kind of degree, what kind of college degree do attorneys usually have? Okay, want to take a shot at it?
Stand up, yes, and say your.
Nah, I don't.
My name is CS.
Okay.
I think the answer is Law and Order.
Law and Order, not quite. There's a specific word for it. Starts with the letter J.
Good.
Don't worry.
Yep.
Okay,
Stand up, say your name. Sorry. Don't be shy. Come on. JD, good
Yes, a
job.
British
Exactly
doctor.
what it is.
Right, yes. And, well, I just asked the question, right? Who is the Attorney General of Guam again? Everyone? Douglas Moylan. And joining us right now is Attorney General Douglas Moylan. Hi, guys. Hello, sir. So
All right.
we're just at the Q&A. They've had a presentation, and now they're getting their chance at gifts from Eric.
Got
But sir,
three
did you want to
So how many
speak?
people want to be, how many of you guys want to be attorneys?
Oh, okay.
So we got what, 4 or 5?
Yeah.
Very nice. I knew that I wanted to be an attorney when I was your age, junior high school. Very nice. So you guys asking all your questions?
Or we're asking
We're
them
asking
the
them
questions now.
now.
Yes, yes.
I'm just gonna keep raising my hand.
All right.
If you already won,
All right. Okay, I have one more question. All right. From the topic of becoming an attorney, hopefully everyone heard Chris mention this. How long does law school take? Okay. All right. You get one up first.
My name is Brad. 4 years?
4 years? Not quite. That's maybe getting your bachelor's degree. But when you go to school, to law school specifically, to get your Juris Doctor, how long does it take? I heard it. Go ahead and raise your hand and then, okay. And go ahead and tell us how many years?
My name is Alexander.
All right.
My answer is
3
job.
years. That's correct, Alexander. Great job. There you go. Okay. A little Eric. All right. Now, this one's a little tough, but hopefully everyone can answer this. All right. So raise your hand. Can anyone in the room describe what an attorney does? Even the most general. Okay, go ahead.
Law and Prince, and they're like a lawyer, and they protect the good people from the bad.
There you go. Yes,
Great
right.
answer.
Good job, Prince. All right, all the work that we do is about putting bad people in jail, right? Protecting the good people. Great job. All right, this one we're gonna jump to when I was speaking. Hopefully, everyone was listening to me, and I think a question was asked on this. So I'm just gonna.
it's the last one, guys.
Yeah.
Make sure you participate in this one.
All right, let me ask this: can a minor selling drugs like meth? I haven't even asked the question. Can a minor selling drugs like meth be charged as an adult? Okay, I think you went first, so I'm gonna go ahead
What
and
was your
have
name?
you. Yes,
Maria.
Maria. Yes,
Yes.
they can. Great job, Maria.
Good job.
All right. So thank you, everyone, for being such good, awesome folks. I think our time is almost up, but we do have a lot of little stickers and giveaways. Anybody already mastered the multiplication table? Uh-oh, not a lot of
We
hands.
have some of those turnarounds. Does anybody have any questions before we break?
Oh, yes.
Do you guys have any questions of the Attorney General's office?
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys know who elects the Attorney General? Your parents.
Yes, the
Your
people.
parents elect the Attorney General. Do you know when you can vote? You guys know what age you can vote?
Good job.
Here you go. 18.
Very good.
All right. Yes, and so if you guys want to, those who said that they didn't master a multiplication table yet, we have some cards for you guys, so you guys can get up, all right, and check out our booths here.
Go say hi to Eric.
Yes, and say, I know everyone wants to say hi to Eric.
Okay. All right, I'm
Get your
good then.
photos? Yes, yes. Thanks, Chris.
You want to give this back? No, of course, sir.
Thank you so much.
You were busy.
All right, thanks, Chris. here. So this is your fourth group. Anybody heard of the Office of the Attorney General of Guam? No? Ever heard of our billboards?
Yes.
One right there, right? Well, we have a very special guest today who's going to talk to you guys about his career, about being an attorney. And right now he is serving as our first and sixth elected Attorney General of Guam. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce Mr. Doug Moylan. Let's give him a round of applause.
Boys and girls. I'm not sure if I call you boys and girls or ladies and gentlemen. I'll say both. So I am your Attorney General. Your parents voted for me to serve you guys, our entire island, for the next 2 years. It was a 4-year term, so I was elected back in 2022. So I've been here for about 2 years now. Thank you. I am the attorney for all of you. And I'm here with my team to protect everybody. And how do I protect you? Is by enforcing our laws. Does anybody know where the laws get passed?
By legislation.
Exactly. And does anybody know what are the names of the other 2 branches of our government? What are the names in government in the United States? What are the 3 branches of government? You just said the legislature. What are the other 2?
Executive and judicial.
Excellent.
go.
What is your name?
Mariana.
Mariana? Thank you, Mariana. So I am part of the executive branch, but in fact, my job is to enforce the law throughout all of the branches of government, and then also to our public, everybody here today. Your parents are the ones, as I said, that voted me into office, and thank your parents for me, by the way. Also, this is supposed to help you guys understand, I guess, what we do. I'm an attorney. This is where when you watch TV, you see those guys in suits, or the girls in, the what do you call these things, the jackets. And then we normally go before the judges, but the attorney's work is so much more than going into court. And when you're a government attorney, the Attorney General, I have to talk to all the government officials, because those are, you know what a client is? Do you guys know what a client is? Like a doctor, right, has a patient. Well, an attorney has a client, and there's a special relationship that the attorney has with the client, and there's a special relationship that the doctor has with you guys as patients. You know, like your, what we call the pediatric, your pediatric doctor, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
These also, guys, is what you guys, in order to be a lawyer, do you just go to school?
No.
What else do you need to be a lawyer?
Go to college.
Yes, that's a very important thing, college. But what else do you need to be a lawyer, an actual lawyer?
A degree.
Degree, that's part of the college that you would be going to, and that's important, you need that.
Go to law school.
And that is college, well, first of all, you got to go to junior high school, you got to go to high school, then you go to college, because you can't go to college without your high school, your diploma, right?
Mm-hmm.
You guys are all going to get that, right?
Yes.
And then you go to law school. But you graduate with a law degree, but that doesn't make you a lawyer. What makes you a lawyer? Like after you go to law school, you get all the education, you get your degree. What makes you a lawyer? It's passing the bar examination. You have to sit down. You know those tests that you guys don't like? Do you guys ever get pop quizzes? I hated pop
Yes.
quizzes. Ruins your Friday, right?
Yeah.
Especially pull out that piece of paper. What? So it's all about school, boys and girls, okay? You need to get good grades in life, because with being smart is success. Do you go to school in order just to go to school? What's the end result of going to school? Graduating. And what does that degree give you? Right there. Jobs. That is what life is about. You have to be smart in order to get a job. In order to what? What is that job for? To make money. You know, life is about having the money in order to buy things so that you can survive. Okay? To buy your food, to buy a place so that you can live at night. What your parents all did for you. It was all about money. And what brought them to that is education. You have to finish your junior high school. You have to graduate from Untalan, then you got to graduate from a high school. That's the minimum that you guys should always be focusing on. And then try to go to the University of Guam or some university so that you can get a higher salary. That's what education brings, is money. okay? But yeah, reach for the stars. Look at being a doctor, lawyer, accountant. Do you know what doctors, lawyers, and accountants all have? They pass the bar, they pass the exam, and what do they get?
Money.
They get the money, but when can they get the money first? Before you get the money, you need something. What do you guys, are you guys, any of you 15 years old?
11 and
Okay.
12.
Okay, so what is it your brothers and sisters or your parents have when they drive on the road? License. Same thing for an attorney and a doctor and an accountant. You need a license, okay? So that's what you guys should be aspiring to as part of this employment day, is if you really want to make a good life for yourself, try to get a license. And a license, not just a driver's license, which you need to get a job, right? You got to go get in your car and drive. But you need to look at how you can better improve your lives, okay? Anybody, did I ask the question, how many of you want to be lawyers? Have any of you thought about it yet? I kid you not. I think I was 7th grade. I knew I wanted to be a lawyer. Anybody in 7th grade here? So they're all, I'm sorry,
6th graders.
all 6th graders. Okay, so you guys are all 6th graders. So you still got time. So you guys look like very mature 6th graders, by the way.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, let's, the next on our agenda would be the,
Math kills, sir.
okay, and I'll be doing that one?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the question that I have here, do you guys know what a drug is?
Yes.
Okay, what is a drug?
It's like it messes with your mind.
It's, okay, that's what it can do to you, but what is a drug?
What kind of substance?
Right, it's a substance, okay? That's the first thing that you have to think about when you think of a drug. It's a substance that you're taking in to your body, whether you're eating it, smelling it, putting it into a needle and putting it into your body. A drug is a substance that's used by people for some purpose. Are all drugs bad? No, not all drugs are bad. You know, when you go to the doctor, right, you have a headache. Maybe you have a headache tonight. What does your mom give you? Aspirin, medicine. That's good for you, right? Especially because your mom or your dad are giving it to you. You trust them. That's an important part of our discussion today. The drugs can be good and bad, okay? Is alcohol a drug? Yes, it is. So alcohol is a drug. Can you guys drink alcohol?
No.
Yeah, no, you can't do that. What age can you drink alcohol? It's funny how they know that. How did you know that alcohol is at 21?
Like when you go to a gas, they ask for ID.
Oh,
Why are you asking why are you asking to? Did you take alcohol up there? For your grandpa, maybe? I used to do that. But so what was the other thing somebody said over here? Yes. What was? I'm sorry. The assembly, huh? Oh, so the teachers are teaching you that. That's good, good. So, when do you become an adult? Yes. What age do you become an adult?
18.
Okay. So you guys see something different there? You can become an adult at 18, but our law says you can't drink alcohol until 21. So that's a very interesting concept, right? So you get all these lawyers that fight about that. They can take you into the military and have you fight and die, but they won't give you alcohol until you're 21. So that's most states, by the way. I think that every state has its own rule, because usually 18 years old is when you become an adult. Your parents don't need to take care of you. They can say to you, you need to leave the house. I don't want to take care of you anymore. You never want to be in that situation, right? So a drug is either a good drug or a bad drug, okay? And a drug doesn't have to be in a little bottle that a doctor gives you. A drug can be, and this is where I want to warn everybody, a drug can be one of your friends giving you something and saying, try this. You do not want to do that, okay? Whenever somebody offers you what you would probably think is a drug, and we have some photos up here, over here, when you see things that look wrong, and I'm talking about alcohol too, like iced tea, some people are putting vodka in it. Is that a drug that they're trying to give you?
Yes.
Right, and should you do that?
No.
absolutely not. So for purposes, does anybody know what this is?
Crack.
What's your name?
You're
Oh,
a
it's him.
smart guy.
What's your name? Crack. Okay, well, that's the street name for it, okay? It's crystal methamphetamine, and that is a bad drug. Is that grown or is it made? Very good. So you have your natural drugs and then you have your synthetic drugs. Alcohol is a synthetic drug. They mix it and they make the alcohol. For crystal methamphetamine, it's a manufactured drug. They make it, synthesize it. Does anybody know when they first developed crystal methamphetamine, crack? Crack ice, it's the street names for that. Does anybody know when they first made that? Do you know who made that? Remember World War II?
Yes.
The Germans made that, and their pharmacists made it. You know what a pharmacist is?
Yes.
And what is a pharmacist?
A person that takes care of you.
Does take care of you.
A person that works at a pharmacy.
Works at a pharmacy, yes. A pharmacist is a person, a medical professional that knows chemicals, knows herbs, and puts it together so that you can have a drug. And normally the doctor works with the pharmacist to decide what are the good drugs to give you. Like when you have a headache, and some other drugs you can't buy at the store, you have to get a prescription and you have to see a doctor that looks at it, like a lawyer, right? A lawyer looks at the law. A doctor looks at medicine and your welfare, your body, and they decide whether or not this should go or not. The Germans made this in World War II. Why did they make this?
To deal with the pain.
That's a good point. To deal with the pain. They made this because they wanted a super soldier. They wanted a soldier, and it was a battle of the Bulge. They gave their soldiers this so that when they get shot, they can still keep moving. Okay? So it's a drug that was meant to increase your metabolism so that you could still do what you're doing without being tired or fatigued or things like that. Now, the only problem with that, what happens in the side effect when you take it? That's exactly what happens. You lose your mind. And then what also happens?
You lose your teeth.
You start losing your teeth. You start losing your mind. And where eventually is that going to happen if you keep taking the drug? Exactly. So it will kill you because your body cannot keep taking it. And how do you die normally from most drugs? When what is it called? Overdose? How do you die? Yes.
Like taking it too many times.
Right, but what is the feeling you get? Are you on the academic challenge bowl? I was on the academic challenge bowl. Whenever I kept hitting that button, you got to be careful hitting the button, right? No, what happens is you start going to sleep. And if you talk to doctors, they normally tell you that you drink too much or you take too much of any drug, you start feeling tired, and then what happens? You never wake up.
Yeah.
Anybody know any famous people that took too much drugs and never woke up again? Who?
It's a rapper.
Oh,
Who
Juice.
did overdose.
We'll have to Google check that one. I do
Juice
not know that rapper.
Yes.
Exactly. Michael Jackson, very famous. What age did he die at? You guys are all retro. This is like a 1980s, right? Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
But yes, he was 50 years old. He died of overtaking. Did he take meth?
No.
What did he take? Huh? Do you guys have a class that teaches you all this?
Internet.
He took like a pill to make up for his lose of sleep, right?
Yeah.
He did it for that purpose, yes. But the drug that he took was prescription. They actually make it to help people. It's an anesthetic. It's intended so that before they operate and cut you open so you don't feel it, you receive that drug. So he got a bad doctor and a bad pharmacist, and they kept giving it to him. And that what happened, they call it opioid addiction. And he became opioid addicted, and then he eventually went to sleep and never woke up again. So, yeah, very talented, right? Very, very, and he was, since he was very small, the Jackson 5, I think they called them, since he was a very small, very talented person. Anybody, other famous people, since you guys are going retro?
Whitney.
Who's considered one of the most beautiful women in Hollywood?
No one.
Who?
Said no one.
It was I'll give you a hint, 1960s. Marilyn Monroe. Did you say Marilyn Monroe? See? Gotta watch this guy. So, Marilyn Monroe, same thing. She took too many drugs that were prescribed by a doctor. Is meth prescribed by a doctor?
No.
Exactly. This is the stuff that the meth addicts out there are trying to get everybody addicted to. Why do they want you to be addicted? What is the reason why a meth dealer wants you to be addicted?
So you can get more of it and buy
Buy. It's the money. They want to use you so that they get rich and then you get dead. Okay? That's eventually what's going to happen to you when you keep taking it. How come you don't stop after you realize you're getting sick?
because you already have too many of it.
You guys ever see a dog or a monkey? You ever see when you like ring the bell and then you give them food? They call it Pavlov response. You ever see that?
Yes.
That's how people become. When this drug takes over your brain, that you stop thinking like a normal person and all you can think about is, I need my next fix. Okay? I like to call them vampires. Vampires, you know, the mythology and stuff. Because what happens when a vampire gets bitten?
They turn into a vampire.
They turn into a vampire. And what's up with the vampires?
They sleep at night.
They sleep in the daytime, and then they eat at night because they need to have the blood or they know they're going to die. So that's exactly what a meth addict becomes. They're vampires that they need that drug or they're going to die. Now what happens when you become a meth addict? You got a nice job. What's the first things that starts happening when you become a meth addict? Yes.
Keep buying it.
Yes. And what do you need to keep buying it?
Money.
Money. Okay. So, but if you're in a nice job, go to the job, what happens?
They're gonna see her and stop acting Christians.
They might do a drug test.
Yeah, right. They might do a drug test. You and I should talk. So guys, on what happens is that they stop being a regular person anymore. They don't go to work because they're up till 3 o'clock in the morning because they can't go to sleep because they start getting nervous. It changes their behaviors. They're no longer like you. They become like a vampire. Literally like a vampire. They're up all night, and in the daytime, they can't go to work. And what happens when you don't go to work? You lose your job. They get fired by a guy like me. And then when you don't have a job, what happens? You guys were saying it?
You can't buy
You can't buy it. So what are you going to do when you can't buy it, but you look like that and you need it because you're like an animal now?
Start asking for money.
Oh, that's one thing. They start asking for money. Panhandlers, right? What?
You might start robbing stuff.
He said that you might start robbing people. That, it's not might. You will start robbing people. You will start first taking your money from your parents, taking whoever you're living with. It's like a vampire. They're going to start to know that they want that drug, and they're going to start finding out how to get the money so they can pay the drug dealer, and then they're going to start taking it from everybody around them. And what happens when your parents or your family members, your friends that you're living with find out that you're taking money from them? They'll kick you out. So you have no job, you have no family, you have no friends, and you look like that. That is what meth will do to you, and it doesn't matter what age you are. It can happen to you right now. So what I'm worried about is my team is putting everybody in jail right now, in the prisons with the judges and our juries, your parents. They're listening to the cases, they're finding people are violating the law, they're hurting people, and they're putting them at the Department of Corrections. So what do you think the meth dealers, the people that were selling the meth, are going to do?
Stop hiding.
Well, they're very crafty by hiding because they don't want us to find them, the police department and the AG's office and all of us. But what they're going to start doing when they lose their customers, right? It's customers. They want the money. Well, my customer is over at Department of Corrections now, and he's not going to be able to pay me for a while. So what do? They look at you guys. Okay? This is why we're here today, is to warn you, and I'm not joking. They need to pay their bills. The drug dealers need to pay their bills. They need to buy more drugs in order to sell more product. And they need customers, right? Customers. Drug addict customers. So what does that mean for you guys? Exactly. If you see anyone trying to give you this stuff, you need to immediately report them to the principal, to your teachers, to police officers, to your parents. Anyone that's trying to give you this, they're not going to sell it to you. They're going to give it to you. Why do they want you to take it?
So you can stop buying it.
But what's going to make you start buying it?
You'll get addicted.
That's the word. Very smart. That's the word, guys. Addicted. They don't care because it's a business. It may cost them $100 to give you some of the meth, but once you become addicted, then you become the vampire, and that you will do anything in order to get more meth. That's when they start charging you. Okay? So as you begin your dying, slowly dying, losing your teeth, your organs start to fail. You know what an organ is? What's an organ?
It's like your digestive system, your insides.
Right, your insides. There are parts of your inside that you need in order to live. Okay? So as your organs slowly fail, you're going to be taking money, finding money, giving money, and then slowly your body's going to start shutting down. Which parts of your body are most affected by taking meth? That one? Yes. Huh? This guy, somebody's got to check him out. The heart, he's right.
He knows everything.
What's your name? Huh?
Trade.
Trey? Traylet. Traylet's very smart. It's the heart. Remember I told you that you start getting so anxious, you start staying up 48 hours without any sleep with meth? What happens to your organs when it keeps on moving and there's no rest for it? It starts failing. So the heart is the one that you know what a medical examiner, mortician is? That's the guy that cuts you open, right? He's the one that says that in Guam, 1 in 17 people that he's cutting open, young people, they're having meth in their system. That is very high for our size community. And what's the thing that's bringing them to death? Is heart failure. If your heart is damaged, can you fix it? No. Exactly. So once your heart starts, because God gives you your heart, your parents give you your heart. It has 100% capacity when you're a baby, and through the entire life, it starts to slowly, it gets weak, right? It's like a pump. So eventually it'll get weak, and when you're hopefully 90 years old, 100 years old, that's when you're ready to go. Your body has served its function, all the organs have performed. When you take meth, it slowly takes your life away. So even if you stop at a certain point in your life, after maybe 5, 10 years, if you're lucky enough to have that, do you think you're going to live till 80, 90 years old? No. You're probably going to die at 50, 60 years old. Because the heart, you can't fix the heart. And even when they change people's hearts, they don't live like a normal person anymore. There's always a finality. The heart is one of your most important organs. Do you guys have any questions? Any questions whatsoever about drugs? I'm worried for you because of the work that we're doing, the drug dealers are looking at you to be their future customers. So, very important. And the studies show, reports when they investigate this, that the people that are best able to not be a vampire, to not become a meth addict, or to have a chance, even if they did take a drug, to get away from it, what is that that you're doing now that they're finding you have a better chance of avoiding this drug? Saying no, yes, that's exactly right. But what is it that you're doing at this school right now? Learning. Education. Education is your key to success in life, okay? So the more you learn, the more likely you're not going to take that, okay? So realize you got to do good in school. You have to stay in school. Whether you're an A honor student or just passing with the C, just get your education and stay away, learn and stay away from that, okay? Meth is the most dangerous one right now, but marijuana, don't even try it. There's no reason to have marijuana. You don't want to hurt what God gave you, your health that you have now. There's many people that wish that they did not do things when they were younger. Okay? So do we have bonus round questions
Yes,
or
sir.
questions? Why don't you?
All right, so let's go ahead and give Attorney General Moy a round of applause again.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, you guys didn't have any questions for us, but we will have questions for you guys. Hopefully everyone was paying attention. Can anyone point out where Eric the Eagle is? Oh, you guys are fast. You guys already know. Oh, what is that thing Eric holding over there? You guys see what he's holding? A little tiny Eric. Who wants an Eric plushie? Well, I'm going to expect all hands to go up. But so hopefully everyone was paying attention. I'm going to ask some questions from the General's presentation, and hopefully you guys are able to answer it. Let's start off easy. Let's see who was there from the very beginning. Raise your hand. You can stand up, say your name, and then give your answer. Okay? Remember those three things? So I'm going to go ahead and ask a question. Who in the room can tell me the name of the Attorney General of Guam? All right, you going to take a shot at it? Okay, go ahead and stand up. Say your name. And what is the name of it? Say it one more time.
Joseph?
I don't know who Joseph is, sir.
That's his name.
Oh, your name is Joseph. Okay, what is the name of the Attorney General? There you go. That
Thank
is
you.
correct. Great job.
Thank you.
Why did I think this is Joseph? All right, great job. There's little Eric here over there. All right, that was an easy question.
There's another for you.
There you go. All right, let's go ahead and make it a little harder. All right, and the General mentioned this too. The Attorney General is elected, right, by who? The people, right? Your parents. And the Attorney General is elected for how many years? Okay, you go over there. Zaiden?
4 years.
Okay, 4 years is correct.
good,
Great
Zaiden.
job, Zaiden. You know what? You're very smart. All right.
Try to get a girl. Try to get a girl.
Yes, yes. All right, and then let's talk about what we just talked about. We're talking about meth. This is a pretty interesting question, but it's very relevant to you guys. So hopefully you guys can get it right. Can a minor selling drugs like meth be charged as an adult? Yes or no? You want to take a shot at it? Okay, over there. All right, what do you think? Can a minor selling drugs like meth be charged as an adult? No? They can't? Not quite. Not quite. Okay, want to take a shot at it?
They can't. My name is Mariana, and yes, they can.
Yes, they can be charged as an adult. But yes, you guys both get an Eric plushie. Great job.
What is your names? What is your names? Your
My
name?
name is Danica.
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 Danica Alvarez.
Yes.
Very nice,
All
Danica.
great
And your
job,
name?
Danica.
Mariana.
Mariana.
Great job. Okay, I think I have
So
it.
Danica, just to make it clear, you can be charged as an adult for certain crimes.
Mhm.
Okay? So in a way, you're right. You normally cannot until you're 18, but starting at 16 years old, you have to be very careful.
Yes.
Because if you commit certain crimes like maybe kill somebody
Mhm.
or touch a girl the wrong way, you can be charged as an adult.
Yes. All right. So I think I have one more Eric plushie. I'm going to go in the back here so you guys can get your little chance. I'm going to ask one more question. Okay? As the Attorney General mentioned, how does meth affect your body? What organ? All right, you want to take a shot? You say stand up and then say your name, then name that organ. Jayliana, right? And the organ is? The heart. Yeah, she's correct. Let's go ahead and give her a round of applause. It does affect the heart, right? And as the AG mentioned, your heart goes haywire and then kapoof, it's over. All right. Well, thank you so much, boys and girls, for giving us the opportunity to talk to you guys from the Attorney General's office. We do have some little stickers and giveaways. Who in here has learned the multiplication table? Okay, you guys are good. For those who did not, we have some multiplication tables here for you guys. Go ahead and you guys can go ahead and stand up and grab some of the goodies we have over here.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
Thank you very
guys.
much.
Right. This is a smarter group. 'Cause
Yeah,
the last
smart.
group,
Sixth grade, yeah.